Hello everyone, Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I am busy doing the little cardigan to go with the little hat. This is for a 18-inch for a 3 to 6 month old. Would probably fit up more than up to 3 months. That's just the age I set them for. I thought I could do with getting that finished, and then I can get that up on my eBay shop for sale. But I haven't wrote the hats down on the pattern yet. I'll have to get that sorted and change the pattern, because I have got the photograph for to put up for the pattern now, because I have to change the photograph as well on the, so I can include the hat on the picture. And the last little set that I did with the King Cole Panama Beaches wool, that's the one that's going to be on the front, because there's a little cardigan and the little hat. I would have preferred to actually have kept them both together until I'd finished both, and I would have made a picture with both on, but a lady wanted to buy it, so I had to send it off. So that's what I'm going to do with this one, and it takes a while because it's the back and the two fronts all in one on this pattern. Seems to take a long time, but I think you forget when you're knitting the back and the two fronts together. And my friend Anne, whenever I do a pattern, I've given her them before, this one and other ones where I've got the back and all the two fronts, she moans, "Oh, I hate doing them all in one. It takes ages to knit them." I says it doesn't take any longer to knit them if you're doing them all separate, the pieces separate. That's the moans and groans I get. It just seems because you're knitting in, like, I've got 107 stitches, I think, in here. Yes, there's 107 stitches where you would have 50 something or what for the back, and less for each front and that. But it's still taking you exactly the same amount of time because you're doing it all in one go. And it does save you a little bit time afterwards because you don't have to sew the sides up. But my friend doesn't get that. I was at my knitting natter on Monday. My friend Anne asked me to, when I made some chicken broth a couple of weeks ago, my friend Anna said, I gave some to her and she loved it, and so she says she wanted me to tell her how to make it. And I thought, Anne, you're the same age as me. Have you never made chicken broth before? But I told her anyway, and she says, have you got any broth to spare? I haven't got any. I says, okay, I said, I'll bring you some to the knitting natter on Monday when we meet up for that, and I'll give it to you there. And so she was asking me about it, how to do it and all that. And I said to her, well, cut the chicken up into small pieces, you don't want great big chunks, just small pieces. I says, when you put them in the pan, just like seal them, until they turn from pink to white. And she says, oh, I've already bought the chicken. She says, it's already cooked. I says, you bought cooked chicken? Just look, stop shouting at me. I says, you don't do it with cooked chicken. I says, it'll be, you know how when you put stuff like that into liquid and all that, so it's already been cooked, it just all shreds into bits. Well, you never said. I said, well, I thought you'd known, when you make stew, you don't buy cooked beef to put in it. Everybody was laughing at me in the team. I said, you stop picking on her. I says, well, I say she never listened, but I said, then again, I didn't tell her that it had to be raw chicken, so I says, you just have to manage what you can with it and that. And so I was telling her what to do and all that, and I said, I'll tell you what, I says, I have been asked to do a tutorial. I says, one lady did ask me if I would do a tutorial on it next time I make it. And because she's tried to make it and she said it was horrible. So I am, next time I make it, I'm going to do a tutorial, and I'm going to send the link to the video to my friend on Facebook and let her show her how I make it. And I also brought some lentils with it, because when I make it I put the broth in, but I put some lentils, extra lentils in as well. And she's saying, well, how much do you put in? I says, well, just a handful. I says, I'll just pour some in my hand and drop it into the pan. And she says, well, do you not have to soak the broth stuff all night before you make it? I says, well, I never do. I says, as far as I'm concerned, I says, it's going into a slow cooker for about 6 hours. I think that's soaked long enough. You might get an odd chunky pea when you're eating it. We were just talking, just laughing, you know, and everybody's listening to all. I was saying, well, can we have the video as well? I've never made chicken broth before. I says, it's just like making stew. I says, you put anything in it, anything you want. I says, carrots, peas, beans, anything. I says, I chop up little, what do you call the bean things? The bean things, I chop them in little bits. I put some of them in. If I have any turnip, I put that in. Just any vegetables that you've got, the onions. I says, sometimes I put leeks in, but I says they're not in season at the moment. So I said, when I make it, I'll send the video to all of you, the link to the videos. And Molly was laughing. She said, I know how to make it. I said, I thought you would, Molly. Like. But that's the kind of chat that goes on at our knitting that hour. Nothing to do with knitting. So I had took I'd put some broth, you know, where Anne was asking me about how much to put in. This was before the Monday when I took the stuff, and I says, well, I don't know. I just put some in my hand and put a handful in. So I had to put some into my hand, put it into the tub thing on my scales and weigh how much. I thought I'll just give her an ounce. I says, I don't put a lot in. I don't want it too thick and that, because it'll thicken it, is it? So I weighed out some lentils as well, in case she didn't have any of them, but she gave us them back. Oh, it's all right, I've got lentils. I says, well, put about an ounce of each in. I says, I'll put some the broth mixture in. I says, put about an ounce of the broth stuff in, but I says about an ounce of lentils as well. So that was a bit of a lesson. And I have also been knitting, doing a little bit of this. I think I did some of that the other night. I put a stitch marker in there. You can see the stitch marker in, just so I can sort of tell how much I've knit, because when you're just going round and round and round in circles, it's hard to tell how many rows you've knit. So that's how much I did. So if I do any of that tonight, I'll move the stitch marker up, and so I'll know how much I've done from there. So that's just another one like the pink one I did. It'll be probably for about the same age, for about 3 or 4 up to about 8, 9, 10, something like that. So I'll have to get on with that, because I don't know whether our weather is changing, whether we're going to get some spring weather or not, but I'll have to get it finished so I'd still be able to wear it at this time of year. Well, that's the little white collared jacket finished. I'm just waiting for Lucy to send me the dress so I can post it off. It has turned out a lot warmer. It's quite warm today, actually. I think we have about 13 degrees, and it is still quite warm in my house. I've got a little, I haven't put my heating on yet. It is 60 degrees, 60.6 or 15.9. That's quite warm. If it was that outside, it would be roasting. Doesn't feel as warm inside the house, but I don't need my heating on just yet, but I will be putting it on later on because I've been doing a lot of washing today, and I have them on I have those things on the radiators, you hang them over, because I'm not hanging them outside, they're not dry outside. It's gone very dull. Looking, it's starting to darken down a little bit actually. And it is now only just after 3. We must be going to get rain, I think. I've never looked at the weather forecast today to see what weather I'm getting the day. Yeah. Yes, it is 13 degrees at the moment. We're only going down to about 11 degrees later on, so it's going to stay quite mild. 10 degrees all through the night. But we're only getting 11 degrees tomorrow, but it's going to be quite windy as well. Going by it has a wind speed on my app thing as well. And then on Friday, it's going to be rain, going down to 6, 7, 8 and 9 degrees on Friday. It's coming down. And Saturday, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 degrees. So 8 degrees for 1 hour it's got on, and then back down to 6 degrees. Oh, it's going back up again on Sunday. We are getting up to 12 degrees on Sunday, from 5 degrees up to 12. That's as far as the app goes on this one. I have another one on my phone that gives us a longer thing. I'll see what that one sees. I keep getting ads come on this one. Every time I put it on, I get a flaming ad. I've got to wait until the thing comes on the cross so I can get it off. It's not coming up. Close. That's it. So it's going to go down the temperature again. 12 on the Monday. On the Tuesday it's going down to 9. Wednesday down to 8. So that's a week. That tells me a week. About 8 days on that one. So looks like the temperature is going to start dropping again. We're just getting some mild weather for a little while. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do a little bit more of this and a little bit more of the scarf and try and get that finished, do the little hat with it. And looks like we're still going to need things like that for a while. But as soon as I stop this video, I'm going to have to go over to the post office because I have a pattern to post. If I have any patterns that come in before about 3:45 at the latest, I'll go over to the post office because the last pickup is 4:15. At least it's picked up so it could be sorted out the next day for delivery. But if I go onto my estate, the post box on my estate, it's only picked up once in the morning, and so if I get any after that time, after I've been to the post office, I'll walk up to the post box on my estate of a night time with it and pop them in there. But I don't get as many orders for the paper patterns now as I do for the PDFs. I get an awful lot of orders for the PDFs. Sometimes I'm glad because I don't have to do anything with them. They just go automatically into people's emails. Not everybody knows how to find them because I get a lot of messages from Etsy. People wanting to know they can't find the download after they've paid for the PDF. And I usually have to send it to them, get the email off them and send it to them myself. But there's another thing I have to tell people as well on eBay. I do get quite a few of these people use the message thing on eBay to message me and ask me to do orders and things like that for them. Well, I'm not supposed to get messages like that on eBay. I could lose my shop if I was taking orders off people. That's not things that I'm selling on the shop, and people are asking me for orders. And eBay don't like that, and they keep checking the messages that go through. If I get too many messages like that, and if I answer them as though I'm going to do an order for somebody from that message, I could lose my shop. So please do not ask for orders on eBay's message thing. If you want to ask for any orders or anything like that, send an email to me. My email is on all of my channels. All you have to do is look for my email there. Do not send messages on eBay without buying anything and asking me for an order for something. So that was just a little warning for some people. I don't want to lose my eBay shop because I get what I ask for on eBay. They don't take any fees or anything off now. They charge the buyer like insurance thing, protection thing. That's if I ask whatever I ask for, I get on eBay now. So I don't want to lose that shop. So people not realising that I can't take orders off them on the message on eBay. So that's my little bit for today anyway. So thumbs up and subscribe. Then I'm going to go and make myself a cup of tea now. So bye for now.